Hello again, my lovelies. Please, before I get started, please forgive all the noise in the last video. I live in Chicago now, and I live near a train state, well, Amtrak, and the trains are not usually that loud, so please forgive me, but I was flowing and I didn't want to mess it up or start over. So that's why. So forgive that. Now, back to what we were saying. Welcome again to Surviving Cancer. And today I'm just going to speak a little bit about um, what happened, how I found out. Um, I had just, and I remember it like it was yesterday, even though it's 12 years later, because it's such a part of who I am. And it makes you the person that you are, having something this powerful and dealing with your mortality in this way. So let me get started by saying that it was right after my 30th birthday. I had the best birthday ever. When I say the best birthday ever, like I was ready. I was ready to get into my 30s because it was such a good birthday, right? I mean, like I convinced this bar to like let me have the whole place. No money. I didn't say, hey, give me some money for it, and they didn't ask me for any money, but they were about to close, and a friend of mine was a DJ there, and he was like, have your party here. I'll invite a few people too. And I was like, I could feel the place, like feeling all like that. I was like, I can feel this place. Just give me a shot. And they so they were like, okay, we'll give you a shot. So I did it. And I had a friend come and decorate, and it was packed. Packed. So packed that I had to dance on a speaker, and I love to dance. So I thought, yes, my 30s are about to be so cold, right? Like my 30s is about to go down. Like, mm-mm. So, cut to probably August. I was watching a movie about cancer, and I'm a little bit of a hypochondriac, so I started feeling around, just, doing the breast test or whatever, and I felt a lump in my right breast. And I found the lump myself. And it was scary. Um, it was different. People ask me all the time, how did you know? How did you find out? And or how could you tell that it was something? But you know your body. And I felt around before and felt stuff, but you just I don't know, I just knew it was something wrong. So my mom was in Ohio, and I called her up and I said, hey, I think I have this lump. And she says, oh, well, are you on your period? Do you think it, and, we're all trying to self diagnose or whatever. And I was like, no, no. And then, so I waited a little while, and I remember speaking to one of my friends, and she was like, Nikki, you have to go get it looked at. And I was like, yeah, yeah, I will, whatever. So it was closer to October when I actually decided to go to the doctor. And it was Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and I had all these commercials like, you too can, you might have it. Why don't you check? Oh, I'm a breast cancer survivor for this many years, and I did it, So it was like, okay, okay, God, okay, I get it. You're telling me to go get it checked out. So I asked my mom to come to the doctor with me. That's how nervous I was, but I think I kind of in the back of my mind knew that it could be something. So once I went to the doctor, I went to my gynecologist, who was excellent, Dr. Ross. If you are looking for a gynecologist in Los Angeles, she is the best. She does not take insurance now, but she's the best. And she felt something as well, and she was like, "Well, you're young, but I'm usually very diligent about these things, so I'm going to give you an ultrasound." I did everything all the way backwards, all the way backwards. I had the ultrasound, then I had a biopsy, then I had a mammogram, and all of it came out to, you have cancer. And I remember sitting with my mom, and each time I went back to the doctor for another test, I would look at her and say, Mom, I have cancer. And she would say, don't say that, you don't know. And I was like, either I have to fix my mind to think that I do so that I can prepare for whatever's coming, or I'm going to sit in denial and be devastated when I find out. But at the end of the day, nothing can prepare you for finding out that you have cancer of any kind, breast or otherwise. And then you just go into fight mode, I think. I remember sitting there thinking, God, after one of my appointments, I remember just thinking like, if I do, what's next? What do I do? What, how do, I'm not ready to go. This is not my time. Why is this happening to me at this age? What did I do to deserve this? And I just kind of went into fight mode, just kind of immediately. However, when I did find out that it was actually cancer, I remember I was sitting in my mom's room because I had just had the biopsy and they were trying to get the results to me really quickly. And I got a call on a Friday saying it's cancer. And I remember my doctor calling and her saying, "Hey, Nakia, how are you?" And when she usually calls me to give me my results of gynecology, when you get all your tests done, all the tests, she's usually like, "Hey, Nakia, you're fine. It's okay. You're good." But this time it was different, and I knew it was different. And I just started crying immediately, just crying. And I lifted the phone up and I said, "Mom!" And I just remember wanting to throw my phone across the room, but I couldn't. I couldn't talk anymore. All I could do was cry. And I think I'm telling you this part because it's important to feel however you desire you want to feel at this point. When you find out something like this, you don't have to, people always try to be, either they're strong or they're like, they don't want people to know, they don't want to share, they don't want to tell people. And I think that's insane. I think it's important to feel every bit of feeling you feel when you find out something like this. If you find out something like this, even if it happens to a family member, you have a right to cry and mourn and not be strong at that moment because you're finding out some devastating news. You really are. And I remember a friend came to me and she had ovarian cancer. And she just found out and she said, "I don't know how I'm supposed to act." And I told her, "You act however you feel you need to. Because this is serious. This is really, really serious. And what you do after this is super important. But right now, you have a right to feel however you need to feel, and no one can tell you how to feel." So I'm going to end this video right now because it's gotten a little long, but I will be back next week to finish up this story. So I hope at least that part has helped you get a little bit of a glimpse into who I am as a person and how I found out. I will continue the story, but the moral of this particular story is any news that you get, cancer or otherwise, just have your feelings. Own them. It is not important to be strong for family members. It is not important to be strong at that moment. What's most important is to go with your gut feeling about how you feel. If you're going to say, "No, there's no way in hell I have cancer, I'm going to get a second, third, or fourth opinion," or if you just want to cry your eyes out, or if you just want to yell to the mountaintop or scream into a pillow or punch something or throw something, do it. Do it. Number one, it feels so good to do. And number two, you're going to fight. You're going to fight. You already know you are. So have those feelings. And now I challenge you today to reflect on how far you've come from that moment. How far you've come from that moment when you found out that you had cancer to now. And then thank God that you're still here. Talk to you all soon. Have a wonderful day. Mwah.